Spellbinder, the change you have brought to the land is unbelievable. You restored Bastion and also many of my people. The Lost Mouse King? Let me think. Yes, Ulrich? Ulrich II? No, that is not right. His name was Piet Morningsword. I dimly remember a report that he was captured by Belosto Toebiter. That wretched one dwells in an underwater cavern. First Wing Zam in Apiday Village can tell you how to find Belosto, and with luck, the Lost Mouse King. Tell Zam it is my command.
Hello? Have we met before? You remind me of a drone I once knew. You are here on Royal Order of the Queen? Of course I will help you. Ah, Belosto Toebiter. He's a foul sort. He took over the water cavern beneath our round dance shrine. He did this when Queen Sabina was in her dark phase. She ignored him, and we were not strong enough to oust him. To reach the water cavern, we need to restore the round dance shrine. The sassafras men stole our wax candles from the shrine. The moon alone knows why. You will have to fight to recover them. And the vile Mago bee robber stole the traditional crystal stinger staff. He dwells nearby. Get these things to begin.
Did the sniveling bumblers send you after me? See the death's head and die! Take the traditional crystal stinger staff. I never wanted it anyway.
Remarkable work! You are a true friend to the bees. But there is more to do. A base yellowjacket stole the shrine's singing bowls and sold them to the flamelegs in the last wood. Get them back! Then you'll need to buzz through the flower meadow to gather a heady pollen cloud around you. You need to smell like a bee. Then hurry back to me. Our singing bowls! Excellent! And, nice perfume. Go to the round dance shrine on the edge of Celestial Lake and place the items you've collected. Then you'll have to do a waggle dance. You don't know the waggle dance? Here, let me teach you. Not bad. Well, nothing says it has to be done well, at any rate. Just do the best you can. The entrance to the water cavern will rise. Head down and face Belosto Toebiter. He's far more dangerous than his name suggests. Once he's defeated, free the Lost Mouse King.
You place the wax candles, the singing bowls, and the traditional crystal stinger staff on the shrine. Now, do you think you can dance? You try to remember all the moves that Zam taught you. Not bad moves for a wizard.
Let me pierce your skin. My saliva will reduce your ego. Soon you'll be nothing more than a flesh bag of delicious juices. I was saving the Mouse King for my nymphs when they hatch. Maybe I'll feed your pets to them instead. The babies are always so ravenous. feed my babies now.
Who has come to save me? I cannot thank you enough. Spellbinder. Bastion has been restored. Can it be true? Please, meet me there so that I can see it with my own eyes. I never believed I would see this day. Spellbinder, I had been trapped by that horrendous creature for too long. You have done so much for my people. Will you help me rally the rest of the burrowers? We need a forceful strike against the remaining Umbra Legion forces. I've heard Blue Razors and Night Flames still plague the Lost Wood. Defeat 100 of each to show them we have returned. Further, here are messages for Elazar Fireblade and Tobias Splitsky. Deliver them for us, and make haste.
A message from Bastion! From King Pied Morningsword! I never expected this day. Please tell the king that we fully support him, of course, for Bastion!
You took down some night flames in Camp Havoc? Ah, they will soon be driven from the last wood. What's this? A letter from Bastion? Excellent news. I heard many of the bees put down their weapons and rallied to their new queen. Old queen, whomever. Tell King Piot that the sugar gliders remember their vows to Bastion. To celebrate the king's return, and what's more, the restoration of Bastion, we should restore the king's throne. I've heard the crown gems for the king's throne were seen in the claws of some Goliath stingers. My people know where they are, near the flower meadow, but only you can get them back. Will you do this?
Fleshling, Shadow Queen, say you come. Say, cross your bones, grind your skull, scatter your deck.
You recover a velvet purse with a handful of dazzling gems.
You recovered the crown gems! Excellent! Take the crown gems back to Bastion and use them to restore King Piot's throne. Give the king our regards.
You restore the king's throne with the crown gems and a pinch of magic. Glorious.
The glory of the king's throne is restored. It is a beacon of hope and courage to the burrowers. You are too kind, Spellbinder. You have helped create an unofficial peace with the bees, but we need a formal treaty, such as my ancestors had with the apiary. Can you broker a formal peace treaty with Queen Sabina, so we may stand together against the Shadow Queen and the Umbra Legion?
Spellbinder, I heard that you utterly defeated Belosto Toebiter and restored the Round Dance Shrine. Well done. King Piot wishes to forge a formal treaty with us? Yes, I am quite happy to do so. To bind the pact, I need your help. I grieve for the harm I did under the shadow, but I can undo one great evil. Divum Whiteheart was poisoned and laid in a resin tomb. But he is not dead. He is in a form of stasis and can be revived. Goliath stingers have a similar potent venom. Track down the Goliath stinger lair and get a dose of their venom so we can create a remedy and revive Divum.
Oi! Why you no just ask for venom? Take it. We have plenty.
You managed to get the venom? Well done. We need to mix the venom with charcoal powder to transform it to its healing form. You'll have to get some from the Night Flames in Camp Havoc. They use it for their dark rituals. You got the charcoal powder. Excellent. Mix it with the Goliath Stinger venom to create the remedy. I had Divim moved to the small gallery. Meet me inside. As soon as I melt the resin casing away, deliver the remedy.
Divim's form is cold and inert, but you hope for the best as you make him drink. There is a long, dark moment where nothing happens. No heartbeat, no pulse, no breath. And then...
Oh, that tastes terrible.
Well done, Spellbinder. I will have my people escort Divim Whiteheart back to Bastion. He should rest for a time. Spellbinder, tell King Piet that the apiary is honored to stand with Bastion against the Shadow. The way ahead of you is dark and fraught with peril, but if I can ever help you, you have but to ask.
Spellbinder, what word do you have from Queen Sabina? A treaty? And Divim Whiteheart returned to us? A glorious day! Spellbinder, the Shadow Queen must be reeling and distracted from your victories here and in the Mooncliffs. I know you are eager to press on and face the Shadow Queen. I do not understand her dark ritual, but I know it must be stopped. The Shadow Palace lies at the end of the world, across the Starfall Sea and past the Konda Desert. But how to get you there? Consult with my advisor, Una Moondancer, then question Zaltana the Mirror Mask for her insight. Are you sure we can trust this Mantis? Strange allies in these dark days.
You wish to reach the Shadow Palace? The perilous waves of the Starfall Sea lie between us and the end of the world. As the Shadow Queen corrupted the Eclipse Tower, so too did she conquer the Radiant Alcazar and the Solar Ark. But once she plundered them, the Shadow Queen destroyed the Radiant Alcazar to ensure no one else could learn her secrets. She threw it down from the celestial heavens. The stars fell, burning into the ocean, and created the Starfall Sea. There are still celestial fragments in the world, dying starstones, which can help you navigate the Starfall Sea. But I am at a loss as to how to get one.
A dying starstone. Ghost Dog, the warlord who commands the Umbra Legion at Fort Rachias, has one. I do not think even you could just knock on the gates to Fort Rachias and have them let you in. The Milanos Tower is a ruin that overlooks Fort Rachias. From the top, you could issue a challenge. However, it would be an illusion. When they charge out to destroy you, you could instead slip inside the open gate. If you make it, look for my hunter sister, Zarozinia the Death Song. She will help you if you convince her we are allied.
Do you have a plan? Spellbinder, your plan is ambitious, but it is the only one we have. You have my best wishes. You will have a companion on your journey. I told Divim Whiteheart to rest, but he would not have it. Take him to the Milanos Tower. From there, you can better plan your infiltration of Fort Rachias.
I am eager to see this through, my friend. The Milanos Tower. This was one of our first great losses to the Umbra Queen in the old times. We need to drive out the Umbra Legion's forces from the Milanos Tower.
Security has been lax in Tyrian Gorge of late. Bearers and their friends mucking about. ghost dogs sent to slay all who trespass here. Get ready to face the heat! You may have hit me between the eyes, but the Death's Head Sorcerer, Actius Night Orb, will stop you!
A Death's Head Sorcerer? They often carry lunar crystals. You could use them to create the illusion we need.
Who let you up here? Those Bane-tails let me down, didn't they? I'm just gonna have to rock you like a hurricane! I thought only the Shadow Queen was privy to shadow magic. What do you want my lunar crystals for, anyway?
From here, you can see the stronghold of Fort Rachias. Use the lunar crystals to project your shadow as a challenge. Then hurry down to meet me outside the Milanos Tower.
You tap into the power of the lunar crystals. They emit a soft glow that gets stronger and brighter. You summon up the shadow self that Sophia Darkside taught you, and project it through the lunar crystal. It rises up as a challenge to those in Fort Rachias, and even from here, you think you can hear an answering roar.
I think they heard you. The gates to Fort Rachias are open. Move up to cover, then wait for the troops to boil out. Once they've gone by, hurry inside the fort before they discover your ruse. Quickly, inside, now! I never expected to see inside the grim walls of this heinous place. Zaltana said to look for the Mantis Hunter Zarazinia, and in the meantime be on your guard. Enemies abound. Let us battle through these gloom dancers and make it through those doors. They look important.
Did you hear the dinner bell? No? That's because you're too early. Unless you want to become part of the mess. Try the soup! I can't take the heat! If you want to go deeper into the fort, use that lever to throw open the gate.
What a vile creature! Throw the lever and let's go through the gate. So far, so good. That chamber down the corridor is our goal, I bet. Push through those black bolts and make your way inside. I'll guard your back.
Yes! A wizard!
Here?
Yes, fool, there! With the mouse!
Eek! A mouse! It will contaminate our process!
Not if we kill them. Want to go deeper into Fort Rachias? Use the lever to open the gate.
Why didn't you just ask nicely?
Please, boys.
Can you free us? I was afraid you would leave us to our fate.
We could never do that. Be free and buzz back to the apiary. You will find it a changed place.
Thank you, kind mouse, kind spellbinder.
What other horrors will this place throw at us? Let's find out. Now, what do we have here? We need to find a way to get to those stairs. Let's ask these devil's flowers with our blades.
You'll need permission from the weapons master to reach those stairs. She waits in the training hall.
Are you some new petty warlord who seeks to prove yourself in the Shadow Queen's army? Wait, what is this? A burrower accompanies you.
Master, do you wish us to slay them and eat their heads?
Zarozinia, your sister, Zaltana the Mirror Mask, sent us to find you. She said as part of the 5th column you would help us.
Master, what lies are these?
Nice work, Mouse. Now my cover's blown.
I must lick my wounds and reflect on my life.
You have quite the way of introducing yourself. Tell me your story, briefly, and what you are looking for. To reach Ghost Dog. He's at the center of Fort Rachias, of course. I'll open the gate so you can reach the next tier. Meet me at the top of the landing. The entire Umbra Legion is buzzing with news about your doings, Spellbinder. This part of the fort is known as Dragonfly Landing, and it is controlled by Quartermaster Rackham, a merciless Shadow Weaver.
Is there such thing as a merciful Shadow Weaver?
Silence your tongue, Mouse! Just because I stand against the Shadow Queen doesn't mean I am overly fond of you. Find Quartermaster Rackham near the landing zone. He'll tell you how to access the third tier of Rachias and Ghost Dog's den.
Fie! What do you want? To reach Ghost Dog? Ah, blast it all! I'll help you if you let me escape unscathed. To reach the central keep, you need the Trine Key. It is, as I'm sure you surmised, kept in 3 parts. The first part of the key is in the striped barracks. Go get it.
Magician, why do you stick your nose in here? We will beat you like a drum. Rain in your strikes. Here, take the first tine of the Trine Key.
I expected no less. The second part of the Trine Key is in the main barracks. Hurry and fetch it.
Exotic meat. Time for a hunt. I am beaten. I will shave my mane in shame. Here, take the second tine for your key.
Of course you got it. The last part of the Trine Key is in the Horn Barracks. Must I draw you a map?
You're a tiny thing. We'll stop you flat and spear you through. Shrine key? We don't have a thing like that. I think Quartermaster Rackham has it.
It's a trap!
Of course it's a trap, you fools! Die in the name of the Shadow! Shadow Blight! Take the last tine of the blasted Trine Key!
Take the Trine Key, and let's hurry to the great doors.
The Trine Key slides into place perfectly and unlocks the great doors.
I can't believe we've made it this far. This is the center of Fort Rachias, the black, beating heart of Shadow. Ghost Dog must be close. He will have your dying starstone nearby. However, I have never been summoned here before, so we will have to explore its mysteries together. Start here. Fragments of old campaigns. Nothing of interest.
How much damage has the Umbra Legion done? Where are all these worlds?
The next chamber looks more promising.
What was that?
Probably a prisoner. We have caught many of your people over the years. It sounded like a burrower being put to the question. Regardless, if it's an interrogation room, Ghost Dog likely isn't there. Shall we skip it?
A prisoner? We must investigate. This way!
Who are you?
Help! I order you...
Kiai for Bastion!
Thank you for freeing me. I do not think I could last much longer. My stars, you are a strange lot, aren't you? Are you here to sabotage the shadow weapons?
The what?
At first, they questioned me about the last wood, but of late, they were desperate to know about a wizard. I gather that's you.
Of course.
We must investigate this.
I overheard them discussing these new, incredibly deadly weapons they're crafting.
Are you sure you want to spend time investigating these shadow weapons? The Yellow Jacket Black Shields will know. Strike some down and find out which room is the test chamber for these shadow weapons.
I will guard Magalia while she recovers her strength.
Shadow weapons are being crafted in the test chamber. Where else? It's down there.
Good enough. Let's get this over with. Let us deal with these shadow weapons, and quickly. All these delays give Ghost Dog time to prepare to face you. I am Zarozinia, the Death Song, the Weapons Master. How do you not know this? Let me see the weapons.
Spellbinder, can you feel the living terror embodied in these dread shadow weapons? We must destroy them at once!
What?
Do you people have no sense of subtlety?
Amazing work, Spellbinder.
May we finally continue? See here, the way is warded.
I have recovered enough of my strength. I can force open the ward, but if enemies come up behind us, they might trap us inside.
Open it then, and go with the spellbinder. I will stay here and keep the way open.
I will stay with you, Mantis, and help you hold the corridor.
Are you prepared? Spellbinder, once I open this gate, we must hurry inside and take on the sinister ghost dog. As one of the Shadow Queen's elite warlords, I fear she may have given him great powers. Be on your guard. We must recover the Dying Starstone if you hope to travel across the Starfall Sea and reach the lands of the Arachna. The Warlord's first defenders. They will fight deceitfully.
Ghost Dog said to bring you before him, preferably in terrible agony.
The Spellbinder's head would make a tasty trophy.
You have made it far, Spellbinder. Neither you nor your little summoner will walk away from this fight. does the Shadow Queen take you?
There he is. Be careful. I see a vein of shadow magic running through his aura.
Little wizard, you are persistent, aren't you? How many times have you cheated death? Countless, it seems. Ghost Dog was the first warlord to come to my cause. Say hello. And goodbye.
The way of the samurai is found in death. Every day, one should meditate on being ripped apart by arrows, sliced by swords, gouged by minotaurs, blasted by tempests, shot by centaurs, frostbit by balefrost, trampled by elephants, doomed by deer knights, or struck down by samurai. Every day, without fail, one should consider himself dead. Let me teach you this philosophy firsthand. If a warrior's head were to be suddenly cut off, he should still be able to perform one more action with certainty.
Ghost Dog! I did not give you permission.
If
Ghost Dog! I did not give you permission to lie down. Rise, Kerr. Your queen commands it! You see, little wizard, reality is what I make of it. I raise Ghost Dog from the edge of defeat and imbue him with the strength of shadow. Cry havoc, as they say, and savage the little fool.
I'm sorry. I meant you no disrespect.
That was worrisome, but you did it. You overcame him.
Oh! Do you hear that thunder in the distance? It is the Lords of Night teaching me another verse. I'll strip you of your spells soon enough. You have no idea of the pain you have ahead of you.
Quickly, get the Dying Starstone before the Shadow Queen finds some new horror to unleash. A fragment of the Radiant Alcazar. This is the embodiment of star magic. It will be a guiding light for the next part of your voyage. We did it! I can't believe it! Spellbinder, we must exit Fort Rachias, and quickly, before the Shadow Queen sends a greater force against us. Keep the Dying Starstone safe.
I will lead you to Crescent Beach. I cannot stay here, of course.
You have taken the Eclipse Tower from the Shadow, restored Lost Bastion, and stolen a Dying Starstone from an Umbra Legion stronghold. Your path to face the Shadow Queen will take you over Crescent Beach and across the Starfall Sea. I do not know exactly how you will cross that baleful ocean, but you already have the most important piece of that puzzle. Beyond the Starfall Sea lies the Iron Gates, the Conda Desert, and the heart of the Shadow Web, Morganth's Shadow Palace.
Mantis, I never expected to fight side by side with one of your kind. It has been an honor. Thank you.
Perhaps the bees knew something in the old times when they were friends with Bastion. The Shadow Queen led all my people astray. It is pleasing to stand in the light.
Yes, let us return to Zaltana and Bastion to enjoy the light for a moment, before we plunge back into shadow.
Spellbinder, you are victorious. I was concerned about your chances. With Ghost Dog defeated and Fort Rachias weakened, you have won a great victory against the Shadow Queen. You may well be the one to restore light and life to the land.
Young wizard, excellent work indeed. The Dying Starstone you have acquired will guide you into the heart of darkness. Of course, Morganth knows you are here now, so expect the way to be fraught with peril. She is most dangerous when she feels trapped. We in the Council of Light will continue to do our best to guide you. Rest for now, and soon we will begin again.
I have taken Zerozinia's counsel, and I believe it is time for you to assail Crescent Beach and cross the Starfall Sea. Wait, what is this? You know these apparitions? Quickly, speak to them and discover what they want.